Yo, UFC Spain has just been announced, guys. Ilia Topuria versus Diego Lopez has just been announced by Dana White, and wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute.
Speak about one of your students, Ilia Topuria. I saw that he spoke about wanting to go up to lightweight and fight Charles Oliveira. What can you tell me about this? Is there any truth to this rumor?
Yeah, the real thing I think is he hate cut weight. He do it a lot of times, and it's very harder every time we do it. He touched the the inframundo. He don't want to do this anymore, and that's why I want to go up to the next weight class. Because
Wait a minute. Ilia Topuria, Mavsar Evil UFC Spain. Wait, what? Ilia, what are you saying? Going up to 155? How could you? But you're so exciting, my savior. No. Alright guys, so we have a problem on our hands. This 5'5" menace, this phenom, this Kid Boo looking like motherfucker. Wait a minute. Yo, what's up guys? So Ilia Topuria has just stated that he's moving up to 155 and that his last fight with Max Holloway was essentially his last fight at 145 at featherweight. And yes, I know he arguably beat the two GOATs of the featherweight division. Yes, I know. And yes, I know there are people out there saying, well, if he goes up, he could fight Islam Makhachev, he could fight Charles Oliveira, he could fight Dustin Poirier, right? And yes, those are great matches. Those are wonderful matches. Any of those matches would give any hardcore MMA fan a fucking hard bone. And to be honest, right now, it's not all about the horny MMA matchups that all the fans want to see right now, okay? But as you guys should know right now, it is about the integrity of the featherweight division. We don't want another Francis Ngannou situation again, guys. Okay guys, we don't need another one of those again at the featherweight division. Oh yeah, and let's not forget, this fucking menace to society right here plans on retiring within the next 3 years. Like, this is crazy. I've never seen someone try to speed run the UFC before. Like this is just nuts. This is insane. Like, I know Alex Pereira speed ran his UFC career technically, but for Ilia Topuria to do it at age 27, so say if he does retire within 3 years, to be the GOAT at 30 years old, when most fighters enter their prime when they're like 30, 31, 32, would be fucking nuts. So here's my problem with Ilia Topuria moving up to lightweight. My problem isn't Ilia Topuria moving up to lightweight. My problem is that he's doing it way too soon and way too early right now. And this is what I mean by this. He's only 27. He's only 27. Okay? Like, we literally have like a prime Raul Rosas fucking Jr. right now with only fucking striking, right? They're like, this is the kind of situation we're talking about right here. Like, people aren't realizing it right now, but what Ilia Topuria is doing in the featherweight division right now is peak MMA. And to be honest, I don't want that to go away all so fast. And people know, supervillains in fighting sports are some of the best things that could happen in a fighting sport. Floyd Mayweather, Conor McGregor, John Jones, and that's just to name a few. So what I'll be requesting from Mr. Topuria is just give us 2 more fights. That's all we're asking for, just 2 more fights. Just a Diego Lopez and someone else, just please. Like, please Topuria, just 2 more. Like, I'm fiending right now, man. I'm fiending, bruv. fuck. And I'm not gonna be like one of those guys that's gonna say like, oh, you have to stay at featherweight, like featherweight has to be your weight class. I don't want to be like one of those guys, because I did see a post about his coach talking about how like it has been like difficult for him to make weight for featherweight. So I'm not gonna be like one of those guys, but man, I just want to see him just like 2 more fights. That's it, man. Just 2 more fights in the featherweight division, then you can move up. That's all we're asking for. I also did see a post of like either him or his coach saying that he like walks around at 180. I call cap on that. I do not believe that at all. Bro looks too much like Kid Buu to be fighting at 180 or to be walking around at 180. But shit, if that is true, Topuria could really fuck around and do some fucking damage in the lightweight division. But yeah, if this is the case and he is moving up to 155 and he's never coming back down to featherweight, then if that's the case, then what happens to featherweight, right? Like, it really is like the Francis Ngannou situation in the sense that the next champion, or whoever does become the next champion of the featherweight division, there's always going to be that asterisk around their name of, oh, but they never fought Ilia Topuria, right? Even though the heavyweight division now is at a lot better place than it was when Francis Ngannou left, there's still people asking those questions. Oh, but Tom Aspinall didn't beat Francis Ngannou, right? But it's not even just that. The whole featherweight division is going to be in a whole mess if Ilia Topuria decides to move up. Like, think about it. If Ilia Topuria decides to move up, the person that's most likely going to get the belt back is most likely going to be Alexander Volkanovski, right? And while I would like to see Volkanovski get the belt back, I just feel like it wouldn't be the best thing for the featherweight division. Worst case scenario for the featherweight division is if Volkanovski gets the belt back, he beats Diego Lopez and he beats Movsar Evelev, and then he just retires, right? That's like the worst case scenario. Because if that happens, Volkanovski basically clears the entire division at that point. And at that point, there's going to be nobody else to challenge him. And I don't want the featherweight division to be in this endless cycle of trying to figure out who's going to be the next best fighter, right? That's like the last thing I want to happen. At least with the heavyweight division, they found that out pretty quick with Tom Aspinall. But I feel like with the featherweight division, it's not going to be exactly like that. Now, in my opinion, this is the next best outcome that could happen from all of this if Ilia Topuria decides to move up to 155. The best case scenario that comes out from all of this is that they end up making Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez next. After Ilia Topuria moves up to 155, Diego Lopez ends up winning that fight, right? And then let's just say they just end up doing a rematch. He ends up winning the rematch. And basically just after that, Diego Lopez just ends up having like a long ass title reign, right? That'll be the best case scenario that we get from all of this, in my opinion. That could be a controversial take, I don't know, but in my opinion, that would be the best outcome possible to come out from all of this. But then again, if I ever met an MMA fan that said they hated Diego Lopez, yeah, I'm probably never trusting that fan ever again. But yeah, besides Ilia Topuria, Diego Lopez is probably our last hope at getting the next superstar at the featherweight division. Like, damn, just imagine that. Like, imagine if Diego Lopez ends up becoming champion of the featherweight division, and, you know, Ilia Topuria moves up to 155 and he ends up becoming champion of the 155 division. Like, just imagine if that's the scenario that ends up happening. Imagine how peak MMA is gonna be if that ends up happening. And for how each of them fight, they could end up making a huge bag for the UFC as well. So hopefully after Ilia Topuria gets done watching this video, hopefully he decides to change his mind and decides to stay at featherweight just for 2 more fights. That's all we're asking for, just 2 more fights. But in all seriousness though, if I had to take a guess if he was actually just moving up to 155 and that he would never go back to 145, I would probably say that chance is, I would say that chance is not 100%, because in the interview that his coach said, even the coach wasn't 100% sure if he was actually moving up to 155. And even right after those statements came out from his coach, not even that long after that, Ilia Topuria started getting callouts from Charles Oliveira, Dustin Poirier. So there are definitely fighters that want to fight him in the lightweight division. So he definitely has options for sure. So at least it's not one of those situations where he's moving up a whole new weight class and he's having like problems finding new opponents and stuff like that. At least we know if he moves up to lightweight, he's definitely gonna get that smoke, man. He's definitely gonna get that smoke. But on if he actually gets smoked, we'll see about that. Yo, it's Crash Bandit MMA here. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.